All right. Hey everyone, how are you all doing? So, something happened today, and I thought I'll talk about it in this video. So, there was a certain link that the employees of an organization were supposed to go to, an internal link, and we were told to go to that link at a certain time when it was open for data collection. Now, it so happened that when it hit 12, for example, when it hit 12, thousands and thousands of people went to that site by clicking the link in the email, for example, and the site had performance issues. And not just that link, the whole site went down because of performance issues. Now, because of that, other resources that were hosted in different areas of that site were also brought down. Now, I put on my CISO hat and I want you to do that too. Think of what could have been done to mitigate some of those issues. Now, technically, it would be possible that you have a certain, let's say, for example, if this is in this case, it was a form and everyone had to go and fill up that form, maybe you could, technically, using technology, um, have the link available to the form, like for example in Google Forms or SurveyMonkey, for example, you can have the link to the form, but allow data collection only after a certain time. So you would go to that location, but only be able to have the form available to you after that time and for data collection purposes. If it's an external third party like SurveyMonkey, yes, you would depend on SurveyMonkey to be able to be resilient to many people coming to the site at the same time. So that's the one particular form or one particular link. With Google Forms, the same thing. If it's an internal one, then yes, you are responsible for it. What else could have been done? If your organization is Canada wide, or spanning the whole country, and then there are thousands of people who might go to a certain particular link, what you could do is have different forms for different regions. So you have for the East Coast, West Coast, Mountain, and Central, for example, or you can just have divided into two sides, East and West. You can have two different forms, have two different links, but at the back end, you could dump them maybe in two different locations and then merge them together when you're doing analysis. That adds a little bit administration, but is a safer way to mitigate such the term that I gave to this was this was an unintentional internal DDoS within the company. So to avoid those, you could have a separate link for each of the regions. You could have different emails go to different regions, so you don't need to create two different forms or two different links and two different locations for the data. You could have different emails going out to different regions to go to that form at a different time. So let's say East Coast starts 8 to 10, then the other regions come 10 to 12, 12 to 2, and 2 to 4. So you're dividing the traffic that goes to that location at different times. Yes, if a certain region has a lot of people, let's say for example your East Coast has 5,000 people and the other regions altogether have just 1,000, yes, then that would make a little sense. But because of the number of people in one region, you still run the risk of bringing down your site if everyone decides to go to that link at the same time. What else could have been done? There could have been different ways of collecting data. So, for example, you do not give them one single time to go to this location. You could either divide the time, for example, like I said, among the regions, or do some things that not necessarily are based on technology, but have people go to that link or use that link at different times. You could have people, or you could just send them an email at a different time. You could divide the people not necessarily into regions, into some other levels. So, for example, you have certain offices. You can send them at different times and even different days. So you can span it over different a number of days. So don't have to be in that on that same day and at different times. You can have them at different days as well. But all this might be administratively burdensome, heavy, if the number of people are lesser and the chances of bringing down your site will be lesser. Yes, if you have thousands and thousands of people across your organization who might go to that same link, then yes, you have to think of this. But this is not something that you would think of by second nature. This might come to you by practice, but you need to understand the dynamics of your organization, and in this particular case, know how many people exist in different places. So yes, this is something would fall the CISO's responsibility, availability of your internal resource site. Not something that IT would think of directly, and not something HR or marketing or any other internal teams would think of, but is something that a CISO should think of, because this comes as an uptime and availability, even if the site is internal. So, given the scenario, let me know what you think, your comments. If you have any other approaches of avoiding a large bunch of people, thousands of people going to a certain link at the same time, let me know in the comment section below. Maybe some innovative ideas, out of the box ideas, innovative approaches on how to handle such situations, even if it's internal. If you know some, let me know in the comment section, and others who come to this video will get some ideas as well. All right, so that was something, a thought that I had. I thought I'll use this in today's video, and otherwise, take care and see you in the next one.